Welcome, everybody, to the Huber Rebels podcast, episode 40. My name is Jordan.
And my name is Ethan.
And we just watched the EA Play stream. And
which was horrible.
For 98%.
90, yeah, I'll give them 1 more percent over the course of the whole other rest of the conference. 98%
horrible. Until. What did I start out? What was the first thing I said?
Do you think they're going to show Skate? And what did I say?
You said no. And honestly, I had no basis on it. You had the most info. You had everything, like all the past tweets and comments and everything to go off of. I just wanted to know where you were standing on it. But I'm like, if ever there was going to be a time, it would be this EA quote-unquote E3 conference.
Every year, the last 2 years, I think solid. Every E3, I'm waiting for it, and the rumors come and they fall, and then people get hyped up, and then nothing. And we made it all the way through this, and the woman at the end is going, "All right, everybody, and thank you, and for this we're gonna make stuff in the future, and it's gonna be good. And here's a mesh body falling through the air with some blocks.
Here's the tech we're working on.
Yeah.
Look, this guy can kind of like float a block over here. It's like,
woo,
cool." And then, one more game. And you and I were both...
We both knew. It had to be.
I was thinking... I don't know, man. Like, I really... I believed you. I was like... It could be Skate. If it was going to be Skate, it would be now. But, like, it just didn't seem like it was going to be Skate based on everything else. It was lame. It was, here's the new season of Apex. Here's a couple games that you've never heard of, like, and they look cool enough.
Our games that already exist are now on Steam.
That, and then it was here's a little bit more info on Squadrons, which looks cool, obviously. Like, duh.
It did get me hyped for Squadrons, and we'll talk about that.
But there wasn't really anything to hang their hat on.
Nothing.
And they didn't even say. I don't even know if they said the words Skate. I don't even think they said we're making a new Skate game. It was just two guys with some Skate stuff in the background just talking to each other. And we're like, Skate 4!
We're doing it! It's a thing! Yeah, we're hyped! And like they never were like, Skate 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is coming, whatever it may be. It's happening.
Yep.
They may have gotten the call the morning they filmed that.
Yeah.
All right, you guys can do it. Because we just watched the full presentation and it's bad.
All that was a green light. They're just like, so we're allowed to make one. I don't know where to begin, but yeah.
I don't even know if they said which studio is making it. Because the studio that made it doesn't really exist anymore.
Who made it?
Vancouver, Black Box.
Black Box, that's right.
But it's changed from Black Box to like EA Vancouver or from that, and it's been a whole bunch of different stuff. So I'm assuming the internet is losing its mind right now. Yep. It's losing its mind right now.
Dude,
Skaters never die. Yeah, dude. So with the announcement of the Tony Hawk remaster, and I've been watching some podcasts and stuff, it's been really interesting. Now, I grew up through like the rise of skating, and it's been like I've been looking around like, what happened? You don't hear about skateboarding. There's no skateboarding video games anymore. Nothing. And then I listened to Tony Hawk talk about it, and he's like, it goes in waves, and boy, are we riding a wave right now all the way around. And
I mean, I feel like we're at the bottom of a massive upswing, which is exciting. Yeah,
it's super exciting because now we're like more aware of it, and it's like just knowing how much is coming.
Because we're getting that other skate game that you told me about like maybe a month ago too. That one that was like in downtown LA. That looks really cool too.
Those games just died.
Ah, that looks really cool, honestly. But you're right. Compared to Tony Hawk and Skate, yeah.
And this will be your entry I'm hoping into the Tony Hawk franchise. And like what I always wanted was like Skate came in when Tony Hawk was dead. And it kind of like filled that void.
Yeah.
They were never the same game. Ever. I want both.
Yeah. Oh, they can coexist for sure.
So different. And
Tony Hawk is like an arcade skate game.
Yeah. And I want Tony Hawk in this game somehow.
The character? Sure,
yes,
why not?
I want him to be in this game. I don't know if that's possible, but that would be amazing.
The sad thing is I feel like a lot of the people in it I'm not going to even know anymore.
Just put Magic Houston, and I'm good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I want the EA skate game and even the Tony Hawk game to a certain degree, other than like the nostalgia of the skaters that were like in there and pioneered it, is about creating your own skater.
Could you ever really? I guess you could customize like the clothes, right?
In skate?
Yeah.
Could you not do your face or anything else?
I don't remember a face, honestly.
I mean, you had a face. You weren't the faceless creeper.
But you never see the face when you're skating, really. You're right. Like, there definitely was a face, but like, I don't even remember a face. I wouldn't be surprised.
Think about that. I remember the clothes. You're right.
It's like a shirt and your pants and your shoes. Like, who are you sponsored by? You know, it's.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
I want a career mode. I want the ultimate playground with no loading screens.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's gonna be amazing.
They were pretty good about that, to be honest. I mean, you could go
until Skate 3.
Skate 3 was bad.
It sectioned everything off.
Did it?
That's what I remember it. It was.
I mean, you could still go from the top to the bottom, right? You have to be. I mean, that's the point of it. Like, one of the awesome things about skate is doing that journey from the top to the bottom in like one seamless run. Like, that's what's so fun about it.
For some reason, I remember 3 being separated at one point. Like, the downtown area was completely separate from
you might
the
be right.
Area.
And there were subways? Were there subways?
I don't even remember.
I think they had subways.
Area. But this is I'm excited alone just to see everybody online talking about this.
Right. Because I mean, even though you were talking earlier about EA's seeming disinterest in making a new skate game, right? Like, we pretty much figured there will be a Skate 4 eventually.
Because there's the only reason I believed was because of how much support there was.
Mm-hmm.
How much outright.
Who doesn't want a new skate game?
It's insane.
So we knew it was coming eventually. It's just a matter of when. And especially during a time like now, like I guess you don't really expect it to be announced today, but here it is.
I wasn't ready for it.
And I mean, it's probably going to be at least 2 years?
Yeah, we'll probably get a trailer next year and release in 2022, especially because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with that because I want this thing built for next-gen systems.
You said when they announced it, you're like, we're not going to see any footage. And
no.
I was like, that's fine. I don't care. Yeah. Skate 4 is happening.
Yeah,
and that's all that matters.
All I needed. It's like if they announced that Banjo-Kazooie, anything is happening.
Right.
I'll just be like, okay, bye. I'll check back in whenever you're ready.
So what could the new thing about this game be? Like, what makes this, besides the look of it and the no loading screens or anything like that, like fast travel, whatever, what makes this like a next-gen skate game? Is there like a new game mechanic or
physics.
Like
improve the physics?
Just
expand the it's really, for me, it's the world. Like, those games were empty. Make it feel like a real world.
Do you want to be able to like go into buildings and stuff? Because there were people in cars and whatnot. Like, it was, for what it was, where you're just skating through a town. Like, I feel like it was populated.
It was definitely populated. No, but I want it to feel like a real city. Like, that's why. Like, if I think about how to ramp this up, like, make it feel like an actual real city.
Yeah.
I have that expectation across the board. I'm playing GTA now through different goggles of this is going to get better.
Right.
And now I'm like, yeah, need more people, need more cars. That needs to be better. Frame rate needs to be better. Like, immediately my expectations change. So it's like, before today, yeah, those skate games were perfectly good. Like, I didn't have an issue with that, but like, I don't know. Like, I want to feel like I'm actually a skater in these cities. Not like the world has been perfectly meticulously designed for you to be on a skateboard through the city.
Right.
Which might be kind of frustrating.
Because the world in the first 3 skate games isn't, it's not realistic.
It's a skateboard world.
It's a skateboarder's paradise.
Exactly. And yeah. I want to earn it.
I guess
that's what skateboarding's all about. It's about falling and falling and falling and falling and earning it. I want the controls to be difficult.
So, like, do you mean like even waiting for people to move out of the way so you can hit your run and your rail and stuff like that?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, then you become famous, and then people like get out of your way, and then people get excited when they see you, and like that kind of stuff.
What if
help you out, and you can with co-op, full co-op, where you can go around and help people and make people like. I know that doesn't really matter, but
you just added something to what I was gonna say even too.
Okay.
So a major thing of skateboarding is your video clips, right? Like you just landing your run, and you always have the skateboarder and the other guy on the skateboard filming it. Could there be a person in this game? Because you have like the video mode, but like it's not realistic. I want a person following me, like filming it, and you get that person's perspective, and then you could do a co-op thing where you can like actually record each other's runs and stuff.
I think that's what they like. The premise, at least in the first game, was like there is a guy following you. I don't think he was real though, but that was like that's what the camera is. So yes, make that an actual real person.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Allow you to control that person.
And you can tell him like where to go, so like he can capture the actual like footage and run that you want him to get. That sounds really fun.
Photo modes are huge now, so really make it about that. Getting on a magazine.
But like photo mode is an actual thing in skateboarding, so like make it realistic.
Yep. Make it gameplay.
Yeah. Forget Hall of Meat. I mean, it's fun.
That will be in there.
But I want...
That will be in there.
It will be, you're saying?
Yeah.
Sure, I mean, I don't hate it. Like, Hall of Meat was fun. Better. But I want more realistic stuff.
Yeah, what if... Yeah, maybe... Because if the graphics get really real, like, I don't need to see guys' arms flipping around there. That's horrific. So I want 100% realistic ragdoll physics.
I mean, the fact that you could go into a cannonball and then just keep bunny hopping every time and just keep adding to your score like it was Burnout Paradise or something hitting the billboards. Like,
yeah, I don't want that.
It was a little weird.
That was when my interest started to wane.
Really all that was for was just to collect other trophies that they added to the game.
But I mean, what if that's their vision of Skate and they go with the more cartoony?
But it can't be. That's not what Skate is. Skate is the skating simulator.
It's what it became. I would say Skate 1 is the closest to that.
But maybe that's why it's been so long since Skate 3.
Huh?
Maybe that's why it's been so long since Skate 3, because they started going that direction. Everyone's like, nah.
Well, no, and I hope that they realize that. That's why I want crowds that you have to move out of the way.
Right.
That, like, I want lean into that.
Right.
Especially with Tony Hawk around, because we have that more arcadey, but even that game is looking more realistic than it ever has. So it's like I'm hoping with the new graphics, with the new engines, that they'll automatically go that direction.
Him being in that game would be really cool because it's like getting the blessing of Skate God. You know,
but
it's
I'm
like
thinking Activision won't allow it. And I know I said I wanted that, but then I thought about it and I was like, I think Activision wouldn't allow that. Maybe, but
I feel like if they're smart, they have to. Because who would say, oh, Tony Hawk has an appearance in Skate 4? I'm not going to get the remaster of Tony Hawk. Like, no way, dude. That's what crossplay is for. It's all about sharing. Like, you can do both.
Yeah, it has Star Wars.
Yeah.
Let's get some secret Star Wars characters like they used to have in the Tony Hawk games.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In Skate, though.
In Skate?
Yeah.
I mean, is that going away from what we're saying? Like, we want it to be real. Like, do you want
both?
Just for fun?
Just for fun. Just to throw that in there. Just for fun. But like actual, like, photorealistic looking Star Wars characters, but on a skateboard.
Sounds weird to me.
It would be so weird.
Baby Yoda. That's all I want.
That would be real odd.
Imagine Baby Yoda shredding through like Danny Way's skate park.
I don't even think... Oh, he'd need a mini skateboard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if Yoda has a baby or a mini lightsaber, then Baby Yoda has a very small skateboard.
No.
Oh.
What?
Baby Yoda on your back.
Yes.
Just hanging out. That's what I want.
Yeah, that would be That would be epic. Yeah, Mandalorian with Baby Yoda.
Yes. And you can like send him off to go and do his own tricks if you want him to.
And his armor can be ray traced.
Wow. That sounds amazing.
Yep.
Do you have to upgrade his armor to Beskar, or do you just start with that?
That would be pretty sick. We're gonna get season 2.
What are we talking about?
I will never forget Jango Fett being the secret skater in Tony Hawk 4.
That's so crazy.
So, yeah, no, I've seen it before. Like, this isn't that insane.
Activision probably won't be able to do that anymore, right?
That's what especially now that this is coming out. I think I may have even mentioned that before. I'm like, well, EA's not doing skate, so give them the Star Wars characters. And
now, what if Activision is like, we'll give Tony Hawk to skate if you let us have a secret Star Wars character?
Yeah, I would love that. Everyone wins.
I'll take that.
Everyone wins.
Yeah.
Hey, putting the Mandalorian in the new Tony Hawk game would make a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Instead of Jango Fett.
For sure. We'll see. That'd be super. I just want Baby Yoda in everything, honestly. And he's in The Sims.
We did see him in The Sims. That was shown off. So they're starting it apparently.
He's just like, he's the introductory character to Star Wars. It's like, even if anyone in the world doesn't like Star Wars, I feel like everyone has to like Baby Yoda, right?
And I'll never forget that video I saw where people are like, "Hey, do you know Star Wars? Do you know these characters? What? Who's that? Do you know Baby Yoda? Oh, Baby Yoda! Yeah, I saw him. He's on." And I was just like, I hate this. I hate this so much. But if it gets people into Star Wars, then I can live with it.
How awful is it going to be when they actually do name him? Because it has to happen eventually, right?
Oh my god.
His name isn't Baby Yoda.
Oh my god, what have they done?
Because
what have they done? This is bad.
It's gonna be bad. I mean, I say his name isn't Baby Yoda, but his name is Baby Yoda.
No, he has to be called Yoda.
No, it can't be that.
Maybe he is Yoda, clone Yoda, and so he's just Yoda.
Would you like that?
Yeah, I need it.
Yeah?
Because he's Baby Yoda. I don't want him to be Jeff. Like, that just doesn't work. Like, you're Baby Yoda. I don't care what your name is.
So but okay, Yoda reincarnated.
Yeah. While Yoda's still alive.
No, he's dead.
Not 50 years prior.
He is 50 years old, huh?
Yep.
Dang it. I was hoping there was something, because he's so... Maybe they're off. Maybe their aging of him is incorrect.
Oops. Sorry. He's 30, 20, 27.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Who knows? How do you age a whatever he is?
Because when Werner Herzog goes, he's 50 years old.
Yeah, he's 50 exactly. Really?
That was very intentional.
Screw that guy, honestly. That character is the worst. I forgot he was even in that show.
No, he's the first thing I remember from The Mandalorian. Because that trailer where he says the stuff that he says.
Dude, him and the guy with the glasses, they'd never show up again.
I know he died.
Did he?
Werner Herzog did.
Did he?
When Gus Fring showed up, yeah.
Really? Did he just... Oh, he lit everyone up, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm mixing between real names and character names from other shows.
I legit thought his name was Gus Fring. Yeah, Juan Carlo Esposito or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Back to Skate real quick. Even though we didn't see anything today, the fact that it exists and now we can bug the crap out of EA for the next year.
Do we need to, though?
Give us something. Give us just the internet and collective internet.
Sure.
Asking for stuff. And every event that comes up, the Game Awards, do we get a trailer? The next thing, do we get a trailer? Xbox, do we get a trailer? Whatever event now, we could get something.
At least now a countdown has started, you know?
Yeah. Minimum, we get something next E3.
Right. If not, like the Game Awards, like you said, which would be a perfect place.
Yep.
Because we know that guy who makes Brothers and A Way Out, you know, he's going to be at the Game Awards doing something.
Every year.
That guy's amazing. Lost in Random
I like that name.
is the name of the game. Now, so when we were watching the conference and we were watching the part about that game, we said that it looks very Tim Burton-y. And I know we've talked about this before in maybe a passing conversation, but how cool would it be for like the top movie directors to make games?
Make games, I'm down.
Like, I want to see a Tim Burton game. I want to see, what would a Christopher Nolan game look like?
Control. I haven't played Control yet, but it's interesting to hear people compare certain games to certain directors. And Control is definitely on my list to play on PS5. I've heard very good things about it, but yes, that would be incredible to see them explore that medium. They're going to need help. They're going to need to partner with somebody. Now,
Definitely.
The closest we've gotten is Guillermo del Toro almost making Silent Hills with Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus, but that blew up, and so Guillermo del Toro partnered with him on Death Stranding. However, Silent Hills might be making a comeback also. There's rumors of that, but I would love to see that.
Just like Guillermo is a fantastic one. Like Alfonso Cuarón, who is a very cinematic director, like he makes beautifully shot movies. And even if he doesn't write the story, but like make them be in charge of how the game looks and the creative design. Like I want to see more movie directors or have any movie directors jumped into that world? I don't think so, right? I think that'd be awesome. And I feel like that would not only push game people, like game players to buy a new game that they might not have before, but also people who are fans of that movie director who don't play video games, like maybe they'll want to play that game because like this is this guy's next project.
If I think back on what Del Toro said, he attempted once and then backed out because it was too difficult. And I've been talking a lot about how this next generation is making things easier. So if there is any time, it's now for somebody to try to get in and take that, because there's so, and what's the Crazy Game Awards guy, and I need to get his name, Joseph, or I'm not 100%. He talked about it. He's like, making games is he made movies. He said it. He made movies. He made games.
Right.
It's very different, and it's very
Joseph Fares.
Right? So I had it right, Joseph?
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
So you have this method, this technique that you have towards making movies and pacing and all of that, and it might not be appealing to try to put that into a game, but I'm with you. I hope that somebody attempts it, because the second somebody attempts it and really pulls it off, that starts it rolling.
See, it's weird. Like, I don't know if it would be a director having maybe a director has a story in their mind that they just can't even visualize how they would put that into a movie, and then they maybe approach a game studio. I feel like more often it would be a game studio approaching directors that they feel like have the similar taste to a game that they are thinking about and starting to create, and then say, can you come on and be a part of this?
I'd prefer it the other way. I want a director to take his vision and find somebody. Maybe that's what we need to do. Who do you want to make a game with?
Christopher Nolan sounds amazing to me.
Then we need to be the tech people to make it happen. I want to be the creative person and then find tech people to help me.
Sure. But like, think about a Ridley Scott horror game. Like the director of Alien comes on and he directs the new Dead Space or something like that.
See, now there's an Alien game.
I don't want that though.
It's just not the same.
No.
I don't know, but I'd love that.
Oh shoot, what was I gonna say?
I want George Lucas to make a game.
George Lucas. I mean, LucasArts doesn't count though, right?
No.
Like, LucasArts has made other games other than Star Wars though, right?
Yeah, their big deal was all before Star Wars.
Right.
The adventure games. Tim Schafer was tied in with them a lot. I think we should contact George Lucas. Say, do you have any ideas? We will find you a studio and be the middleman and basically be like, I don't understand why you get all the hate, because I love George Lucas so much. I love him even more because of all the hate he gets. And every time I see somebody shit on him, I'm just like, you have no idea what you're saying. You have no idea what you're saying.
You love Star Wars, yet you hate George Lucas?
It's
How is that possible?
That man is a genius. And I don't want to segue too much out of this, but I finally watched this video I had saved on YouTube where he sat down with Dave Filoni just to talk a little bit about Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you caught that. It was a segment on the Star Wars show. Wow. Hearing Dave Filoni talk about like what he learned from George Lucas, and how much he knows about making a film, and it's not the obvious stuff. And it's clear how much genius George Lucas has. And there may be some missteps in other areas, but that man knows what he is doing. And I'm sure, I don't know if he has more ideas, but I'd love to see more from him. And I feel like he's just given up because of all the hate he got. He's just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to deal with this.
Does he still want to do stuff?
I don't know. I'd love to know if he does. I literally have it on my list of things, is like, I don't remember. I want to interview him and really see like how he feels.
I want to know how involved in the recent movies he was. Because it's not like he's been they haven't closed the door on him completely. If anything, they've just left it completely open.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to come back and like talk about this, like, you're more than welcome. Which is how it absolutely should be. It was his vision to begin with.
It's his world.
Yeah.
It wouldn't exist without him. I don't know. I can't seem to find it.
There was some quote I saw, and I'm sure I'm kind of misquoting it, but it was like, Disney is making the mistake of trying to recreate what George Lucas did instead of trying to have the forward like thinking and progression of George Lucas when he first started. It's not about recreating what he did, it's have the same mindset that he did and push it farther. And
that's what so many people, they're like, why aren't you doing the same thing over and over and over? It's like, his goal with the prequels was to try new things.
Mm-hmm.
Always constantly try new things and push it forward. And that's what he told Dave Filoni too. That's what they attempted with the Clone Wars show. It's always about pushing and looking over and trying to do what you can't do and then figuring out how to do it. And what I think a lot of people don't realize is computer animation, filmmaking, the technology that exists is only where it is today because of him and his studios and his companies. And they take a lot of the shit for pioneering it.
I mean, ILM is like the lead in terms of like visual effects. Yeah.
They created the standard, and then everybody else rolled with it, and then just shit on them for creating it, not realizing like this wouldn't exist without them. And so much credit goes there.
And in a way, I feel like it's appropriate for that to all be under the Disney umbrella, because that's I feel like those are companies that like are in the spirit of Disney, pushing boundaries, like making the future happen now.
Marvel. MCU, changing the face of cinema.
It's definitely appropriate. I just don't think they have the correct mentality, and no one does. No one has George Lucas's brain. But I don't know. I almost wish that he would still be a lead on things, just to keep the sanctity of everything that he like initially thought alive.
One more movie. Do one more Star Wars movie.
That would be unbelievable.
Where you're heavily involved.
Wherever you want it to be.
Not necessarily even directing, but like, you make the story, you make most of the final say. You have final say on everything. And I can't think of a director who would sign up to that, realistically.
What do you mean?
Where they would...
To direct his movie?
They need full creative control.
Someone has to. I'm sure there would be someone.
I would love that.
I mean,
time will tell.
Even a young up and coming director, you'd be stupid not to.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that directed Rogue One, he was not a nobody, but he hadn't done very much. He had done a movie called Monsters, I think, and Godzilla. Godzilla, of course, is a big movie, but he's not a major director. But I feel like Rogue One puts you on the map for sure.
You would think what's he done after? I haven't heard much about that.
That's a fantastic point. But I mean, I just feel like if you're a young up and coming director and you are given the opportunity to direct George Lucas's movie where he has full creative control, yeah, why not? That's what it's called, being an intern. Yet you still get paid for it, and you still get to like put your name on it.
Yep. We'll see.
I don't know.
They got to pull something off.
I would love that, because I feel like Kathleen is on her way out. So
definitely, it's from everything I heard, he trained Dave Filoni well, and I hope him and Jon Favreau really should take over Star Wars somehow.
Yeah. I'll tell you what Gareth Edwards has done since. He was a trench soldier in Episode 8. That's what he's done.
That's what I was gonna say. I was literally gonna be like, the only thing I know is he was in Episode 8.
The last thing he directed was Rogue One.
Wow. Okay.
How is that possible?
Yeah, that's crazy. I did hear somebody refer to the upcoming Star Wars show that's in the works as they should call it Shobi-Wan Kenobi for the Obi-Wan show.
Interesting.
Shobi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah.
That's that sounds great.
That's a hashtag.
What do you think it's gonna be called?
The Obi-Wan show.
Just Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan, a Star Wars show. How about just Obi? Oh, no.
Obi? Kenobi?
Yep.
Yeah,
No.
Kenobi.
Old Ben.
Old Ben.
Just call it Old Ben.
That's my front runner. That's great.
Because it's
Because even from a 40-year-old, like, he starts referring to himself or wants to be referred to as Old Ben.
he starts that when he gets to Tatooine.
Yeah.
And then he has the infamous line where he's Old Ben?
Obi-Wan.
Is that Old Ben Kenobi? Or somebody else, maybe?
I mean, yeah, at that point, Obi-Wan, the name has died off. Yeah, dude, it has to be Old Ben. Because he's also in hiding. Like, he can't be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Just call me Old Ben.
Should I tweet them?
Go ahead. The odds are that might already be the official title, but yeah, that'd be great.
I'll slide
Old Ben.
DMs.
Dude, that would be phenomenal.
Everybody would know, like, because it immediately ties it to the OG, but you know it's him.
And all you have to do is just give him a little bit of gray.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
And they confirm they're using the same techniques The Mandalorian used. I haven't watched Gallery yet. Have you?
No.
Part of me doesn't want to. I don't always like to see the behind the scenes.
I do. You don't want to see how the sausage gets made?
I don't necessarily want to see John playing the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I know you hate that.
I really hate it a lot. A lot. Really hate it a lot. Because it really feels like Pedro Pascal taking a paycheck. And I love him. So every motion, I'm like, oh, he's so good at emoting. And I'm just like, oh, what's he doing? He's just collecting a paycheck? Show up in a voice booth?
Yep, he's literally talking in a monotone voice for a day's worth of content.
Yeah, no,
he did have to show up to the set for that one 15-second scene, maybe.
And that's it.
He did have to do that. So, what a.
And I never agreed with, we have to see him take his helmet off. I would much rather him just never take the helmet off, and I don't care.
And always be in the suit. 100% of the time, because you are the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I can never take my helmet off except in this window in full view of all of you.
He's like, look, dude, I want to show you, but that is the way. I can't. But no, he was almost never there.
Yeah. What have you been watching?
Anything? I have, well, okay, I can't say I have a new one of my favorite movies because it upset me a lot. I have seen the worst movie I've ever seen. Again, I know that happens to me a lot, but literally the worst movie I've ever seen.
Okay.
It's
Could
called.
you remember what your last worst movie ever was?
I think so. It was either Baywatch or the one with Liam Neeson.
Definitely not the one with Liam Neeson. He can't be in worst movie ever. Just
it's
because
not.
Of existence.
It's more. It is. Thinking back on it, like, it was entertaining. It's just a disaster. Like,
No, so we'll go with Baywatch.
Baywatch, yeah. But at least even then, there's hot people in it, you know? It's like, there's at least something to look at. Sure. Yeah.
You can look at that, man.
I agree. But this movie called The Last Thing He Wanted. It's a Netflix movie starring Anne Hathaway, Willem Dafoe.
Is that The Last Thing He Wanted?
No. No, it's not.
Apologies.
Audio only listeners are going to be so confused.
You can imply.
It's like a 70s or 80s like weapon smuggling conflict. She's like a reporter, and her dad, Willem Dafoe, is a weapon smuggler, and she has to like finish one last job for him. But obviously, there's some like shady stuff going on, and someone's trying to like screw him over, and she's trying to like figure out what the heart of this whole thing is. But literally, nothing ever makes sense or actually connects to anything, and the way it ends is so upsetting and absurd. Oh yeah, Ben Affleck's in it too. He's a major guy.
So
and
Batman, Catwoman,
and the Green Goblin.
No. Oh, and the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there we go.
Batman, Catwoman, and the Green Goblin in the most boring movie you will ever see in your life. Do not watch this movie.
I will not.
It is not entertaining.
I already forgot what it was called.
It is awful. It's called The Last Thing He Wanted. The title doesn't make sense. I don't know what it refers to at all. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he wanted. I don't know what the last thing he wanted is. It's awful. But
did he want anything in the movie? Who's he?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Damn. Okay.
Because the main character is she.
That's the last thing he wanted.
Who?
Her.
He? Who's he?
One of the other guys. All of them.
Maybe that makes sense. I guess Ben Affleck didn't actually want her. And maybe if you watch to the very end, that would make sense. But
there you go.
I'll tell you. Screw it. It doesn't matter.
Because you don't want people to watch this movie.
He's a government agent. He's like maybe second or third hand to the president of the United States. He's just some like senator kind of guy. And he shows up down in like Cuba, just out of nowhere, where she is, because she's doing this like weapon smuggling contract. Yeah. And he just shows up there like ready to help her, even though they don't know each other at all. And he like kind of helps her, and he sets her up in this house where the guy with the glasses from Captain America is. And I don't know who his character is. He's just some guy who lives down in Central America now because he like can't live in America anymore because he's some kind of criminal, and he like employs her as his servant.
Wait,
and then
which Captain America?
You know, the first one and the second one as the hologram. You know, the bald German guy, the really like squatty guy with the glasses, the round glasses. So Ben Affleck then tries to like help her and save her. So like she escapes from that place and then comes back and is going to leave and flee back to America with Ben Affleck, and then he just shoots her in the heart and she falls off a cliff and dies, and that's how the movie ends.
The last thing he wanted was to kill her.
But he no, he didn't care. He was happy to kill her.
Yeah, because that was the last thing he wanted.
No, he was happy about it. That was not the last thing he wanted. I'm sure the last thing he wanted was to die. So
no, he was happy.
The last thing he wanted was her. Oh, he's gotten literally everything in life?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's literally the last thing he even needed was...
Yeah.
Huh, wow, yeah. Screw that movie. However, my friend did refer a movie to me that I hadn't even heard of. It's a very about time sort of vibe feeling kind of movie. It's called One Day, starring Anne Hathaway, and almost no one else that I recognize. And that's okay. The movie takes place on the same day, July 15th, of subsequent years. So like it starts out July 15th, 1989. And then the next scene is the next year on that day, and blah, 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 so on, so on, so on.
1990?
Yes.
I got it.
How did you guess? And it's about her and this guy who like meet after they graduate college. And there's obviously something there, like they try to hook up, but like they don't. So they're like, let's just be friends. and they become like best friends, but obviously they're kind of in love with each other, but their lives just always kind of keep missing each other. Like someone gets into a relationship and the other person gets into it, and then one gets divorced, and then blah blah, and I'm free now, but oh no, I'm seeing this. It's like it's this wild ride, and it's very beautiful. The acting is outstanding. Anne Hathaway, who I like, but I don't think is a good actor, is perfect in this movie.
So we went from worst movie ever with Anne Hathaway to a really
my favorite Anne Hathaway movie, 100%, without a doubt. Yeah,
shows her range.
Great range. I love this movie. I think you should watch it. I know you like About Time.
What's it on?
Netflix.
Anything? Oh, no. Okay, I'll add it around.
I honestly thought it might have been written by the same person. It was so kind of had the same feel to it.
Look.
I think you'll like it a lot. So I highly recommend One Day.
One Day.
It's just a really sweet story.
One day we'll be together.
One day.
One day.
What have you been watching?
We watched a couple movies.
I have one more thing to talk about at the end of this, no. I'll wait. I'll end on this.
So, HBO Max came out, and this was before we got. I don't think did I talk about this? We watched Aquaman.
No, we haven't talked about this.
So
when did you watch this?
We were looking for a movie to watch before we got the new TV, and I knew HBO Max wasn't in 4K, even though Aquaman probably would have been cool to watch on the new big TV.
Is it not in 4K?
HBO Max doesn't have 4K yet. They prioritized getting it launched first.
Because it was pushed up, right?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but they needed to just get it launched.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it, but also it's just
okay. But
it's DC.
But compare it to other DC movies. It's actually entertaining. And has like a sensical plot.
And I like Jason Momoa. But man, it's just there's something I know this sounds really bad, but like it was just kind of thing after thing that I'd noticed. I'd be like, oh, okay. And not that it took away from it. Like I had to take a step back and just like enjoy it as a movie. But I'm used to now superhero movies being some of the best movies I've seen.
Sure.
And so it's like, oh, here's what stood out: the sets and the green screen. It feels like they filmed this in one room.
That is a very DC thing.
Just feels cheap to me.
And that starts with Zack Snyder. Like that's such a Zack Snyder thing. He's so green screen and CGI. So like doing the Superman and I don't even know if he did Batman. He did do Batman vs Superman, right? And then he started Justice League. I don't know. So like I feel like they've kind of continued that trend with the DC movies. I agree with you. Aquaman looks very cheap.
But if I just kind of take all that back, then like I did enjoy it. It was a fun movie. I was gonna say it's funny because Willem Dafoe,
right?
And he was great in it. The underwater like animation was a little weird at first, and then I was like, this is really cool how they pulled this off to like make them look normal but underwater. I think it's just something struggle. Even Wonder Woman, that was a great movie. I just see through it.
I hate the end of Wonder Woman.
And it changes it.
I told my dad, I'm like, the first two acts are good to great. The third act is so lame. With like, oh, here's this demon god who wants to destroy everything, like always. Like, kill me. And Aquaman didn't really have that necessarily. I guess he did want to take over the world, but
bro guy that was like, I hate you and now I'm gonna win and now I lose.
But I mean, not to spoil it too much, but like at least at the end, like it doesn't kind of
like that.
I liked the ending. I liked the resolution of everything. It was satisfying.
It felt easy though.
Yeah. But it was exactly what I wanted. So I think that's part of why I like the movie so much.
And I don't want to hate on it. I think it was a good move by DC. I read this that they're focusing on not connecting their movies. I think they realized that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
and just creating the best standalone movie you can. But
yeah, like please don't do Justice League 2. God no.
they're doing that Suicide Squad other movie, and they're planning spin-offs, and like Wonder Woman 1984 looks cool and it has cool music.
Oh, it looks amazing.
There's just something where I'm like, there's just something I can't even really describe it.
I think one of the things I liked so much about it was that I hated Aquaman in
it's horrible.
Justice League. He's so boring.
I love what they did with the character.
His character was amazing.
His arc, I love the story with the parents.
His personality.
His kind of, his personality and his journey to become that.
His growth,
so much about how it was shot.
Yeah.
That it's less like the characters that I'm mad at and more the studio that I'm mad at for like, just do that. That's good enough. Just hop through the waterfall and then you're back through the waterfall and we're good.
You cannot say though that part where he comes out in like the gold armor and the trident is not one of the most hype things you've ever seen.
It's epic, but at the same time I'm like, oh, okay, we're just right back here. You just hop through there and hop back.
I know.
And I'm like, because it was such an epic moment. It's like the potential. There's so much potential. Like this, I see how it could have been so much better. And like epic movie, but you got to just take it for what it is at the end of the day. And so that's where like all things said and done, like no, it was good and I enjoyed it. And I don't want to hate on it.
There is that part at the end where there's that like battle between the two like factions. There's that massive underwater war scene where you just can't even tell what you're looking at anymore. DC just loves to bombard you with crap. It's like, what is going on?
Now, I do have one other criticism. The villain, the other villain.
Oh, Mantis?
Like, I from the beginning of the movie, it's always, I'm angry at you. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to be a bad guy. And, I have a vengeance for you. And, okay. And then I'm going to make my outfit. And I'm like, oh, here's how they're justifying the comic book character.
Yeah.
Still look like an idiot.
Completely. His helmet looks stupid. How do you even function with that?
And I know 100%. Like, I didn't know this character, and I told Maya in the middle of the movie, I'm like, let me look this up. And I'm like, this is why, because this is literally what the comic book character looks like. Marvel, 0 times I felt like that.
No.
0 times I felt like that. And I don't think that's a Marvel DC thing, as far as I know.
What, to have more practical suits and stuff?
I can't tell if that's a movie execution or a base material issue.
I mean,
and I don't want to hate. Like, I really don't.
I mean, what would a character like Mantis look like in a Marvel movie? I mean, in Spider-Man, we get no, I'm thinking of the game. There's Rhino in the game. That's ridiculous. That's absurd. That's not a real thing. Right. So I'm trying to think of a character in Marvel where it's like, that doesn't look practical.
0 times. Every single time they pull it off, especially Vulture. Vulture is a great example, especially if you compare it with the game, where it's like a New York City worker and whatnot. And like the way they pull that off is flawless.
Because Vulture in the comics actually looks like a bird.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton just made mechanical wings so that he could combat a guy that can actually swing from webs around a city. It's like, that makes sense.
Stupid.
No.
And in the story is just so good. So I'm like, I'm not trying to constantly compare, even though I know that's what I'm doing. I just, it makes me go back to, honestly, the Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah.
And Joker, obviously Joker. We can talk about Joker. I love Joker. Like that movie feels more realized and like believable and understandable.
It's completely believable. The entire movie is realistic. Like that's a real world.
But the difference is like, and this is what DC's dealing with. DC has Gotham, Marvel has New York. And so inevitably you're getting something different. And the way they portrayed Gotham didn't feel like this crazy city. And like I still haven't figured out how to fully put this into words, but
what's the New York City called in DC where like the Daily Planet is? No. It's not Liberty City. It's
Metropolis.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that as like a real thing.
Yeah, but
here's the thing I don't like about DC though is there's fake cities and there's real cities and real events. It's like here's Metropolis and now we're gonna go to London in World War II. It's like wait, what? I'm sorry, are we in reality or not?
So I don't know what to do. So I at the end of the day I'm just like, you know what? Lower the expectations and just enjoy it. It's going back to that old style of movies where you're like just enjoy it for entertainment.
We'll have to wait and see what the new Batman movie is like.
Which I'm excited for, but I think it's gonna be more like this, even though I believe in Robert Pattinson and
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be not Joker-esque, because I think it's been in production even since like
it's delayed
for longer than Joker. Like it's been such a long span of time.
Yeah.
But
I believe in it. I do too. Believe in it.
I don't think it's gonna be cartoony. I don't think it's gonna be the like DC extended universe type of Batman movie. I think whatever Ben Affleck one would have been, I think this will be closer to Christopher Nolan than anything we've seen from DC so far. I hope.
I'll take it. Well, that's enough about DC.
Yeah.
We watched one other movie. So my grandmother, we finally had the visitation after we quarantined for 2 weeks, and she came over.
Have you ever seen The Visit? Speaking of visiting grandmothers, have you ever seen The Visit?
No, I have no
by what's his name? Shyamalan? M. Night Shyamalan? Yeah.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It's creepy.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to watch it, because I visit my grandma. So we got the new TV. We were like showing her the apartment. We've got all our stuff for the most part. And we went with, what do you want to watch? And she had been thinking about it, and she dropped it on us. Apocalypse Now.
Oh, wow.
Both Maya and I have not seen that movie. And Maya's seen a lot of movies.
I remember you getting that as a gift one year. Yes. A long time ago.
On Blu-ray from my grandma.
And I remember, like, at the time, I'm like, wow, is that one of your favorite movies? Like, I honestly, it might have been so long ago, I didn't even know you hardly. But I remember seeing him, like, wow, he got Apocalypse Now. Like, that must be, like, a great movie.
I know it's a classic. I've never seen it. I'll throw this in there. My grandpa also gave us a bunch of movies, DVDs that he had, which was a nice gesture.
Yeah.
The Green Mile, Apocalypse Now on DVD, but I was like, I'm such a snob that I'm like, I want to watch it on Blu-ray, but I had it on Blu-ray. I happened to grab it at my house recently, so we had it here. And my grandma's like, Apocalypse Now, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you sure? It's not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 hours long. Have you seen it?
I've seen part of it. I started it in like a film class at Elko one time, but
no, you watch it.
I will.
You, as a cinema man, need to watch this movie.
I mean, I believe in anything Francis Ford Coppola does, so.
Didn't realize it was him until after the movie, and like one of the most beautifully shot things I've ever seen.
Yeah, nothing like the smell of napalm in the morning.
Incredible, right? So I know all these references. Ride of the Valkyries, that was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Numerous other things popped up where I'm like, oh my god, I know that.
Yeah.
Like that's how influential this film is, but it is weird. Oh, it's weird.
Really?
And it gets weirder and weirder as it goes on. And yeah, right? And that's not what I was expecting.
Am I getting confused? Is it Martin Sheen or Charlie Sheen that's in it?
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen, okay.
Charlie Sheen's father.
Right.
And boy, does he sound... They have like the same voice. It's crazy.
Really?
And so I'm super into like Vietnam movies now. Well, like not like obsessed, but after I watched this, I was like, what else is there? Like, what other good movies are there? Where does this rank on the list of like top Vietnam movies? Because this was always the one I knew about. Platoon.
Is Platoon a Vietnam movie?
It's a Vietnam movie, and it's considered... I found a list. They put Platoon 1 and Apocalypse Now 2. Uh-huh. Charlie Sheen starred in Platoon. And I'm just like, how crazy that your father is known for a Vietnam movie and then you're known for a Vietnam movie.
That's why I'm getting confused.
I have to watch Platoon.
Okay, if we can figure this out somehow, let's watch Platoon. I'll watch Apocalypse Now. Let's watch Platoon, and then let's watch Full Metal Jacket. Because
That's Stanley Kubrick.
I'm on this streak of watching Stanley
Yeah.
Kubrick movies with you. So
I'm super
that should
down.
be the next one.
I would want to watch that here. I would want to watch Full Metal Jacket here together somehow. We can pull that off. I'll try to figure that. Ask your dad though what his opinion on Apocalypse Now is.
He has seen it.
It was fun to watch it with my grandma.
Yeah.
Like we told my mom, she's like, "Oh, you guys are gonna watch a movie? What are you gonna watch? Apocalypse Now? Oh, why are you gonna watch that? Because my mom only likes happy movies at this point.
Yeah.
And it was great. Honestly, I have nothing bad to say. It was incredible.
Cool.
Maya felt the same way. The cinematography, everything, and I didn't realize Francis Ford Coppola also The Godfather.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second or third. That was one of those movies that I made an effort. I was like, I need
have to see The Godfather. Right.
Have to have seen this movie, but I want to rewatch it, cement it in my brain, and watch all three of them.
Yes.
Because I've heard the second is the best. Some people say the first is the best because it's a classic, but
I've never heard anyone say the third. I hear the third is like it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. So I really just want to watch at least the second one.
Yeah.
But that was a pleasant surprise, and it was a fun thing for us to watch. We watched it over 2 days because it is kind of long.
Oh, okay.
But you could totally watch it in one setting. It was just complicated because she had to go home and it was late and whatnot.
See, I feel like I don't typically enjoy war movies all that much.
I don't, which is why I've put it off this long. And that's why her saying it, I was like, I have a reason. Let's do it.
Right.
I was also scarred. And I because after we watched this, I was talking to my grandma, I was talking to my grandpa about it. And I was scarred by this other Vietnam movie that I had seen. Only a clip. And it was a scene where they get stuck in a game of Russian roulette. And it is one of the most tense things I've ever seen. If you can imagine, right? It could be death. Like, it's intense. And it was on the list of top Vietnam movies, and it's called The Deer Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Robert De Niro.
That's one of the most like highly acclaimed movies also.
Definitely nope. Mm-mm.
I'm going to watch it. I will watch it.
Dude, it's
I know.
brutal.
I know.
Apparently it mostly takes place in the US. So that's interesting. The only other thing I want to just give a shout out to, I know I probably have before, but we're making our way through Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
I mean, Kid Gets Acquainted to Universe. Do you remember that?
No.
I love this show so much.
It's great.
It's easily one of my favorite shows now.
Yeah.
And Maya described it. You watch Boy Meets World, then you watch Friends, and you're set.
Do you imagine one of the people in Friends as people from Boy Meets World, or just
about life?
Just gets you in the right mood.
It's just about life from 5th grade until end events of Friends that I'm not going to tell you about because spoilers.
Hey, well, I can watch it again now. Not that I never had a lapse of not being able to watch it, but it's on HBO, so I can watch it.
I haven't turned it on there yet. But no, I do want to say I love how meta Boy Meets World is. There's been a few episodes where they crossed over with like Sabrina, and I was just like, what is happening right now?
They did?
Yeah, she shows up as a witch. I'm like, this is insane. And then the cat is in the next episode.
What? I don't remember that at all.
And then my favorite episode is Eric, not my favorite episode, but this other great episode was Eric. He becomes like, he starts acting in like Shakespeare. And
that's the brother, right?
Yeah, Eric, the older brother. And then a guy from Juilliard comes, a guy from another thing comes, and then a guy's like, I'm from Hollywood. And he's like, I'll go with you. So he goes to Hollywood. And they get to the studio set. And the sign says, Kid Gets Acquainted to Universe. Boy Meets World.
Right.
And it's the set of Boy Meets World.
Right.
And it's all the actual characters playing like weird fake characters. And I'm just like, this is insane. We're seeing the actual set of the show. But
like they just pulled the cameras back and were able to have fun for a day. That's kind of cool.
It was so meta. It made me so happy. I love stuff like that.
There's an episode of Friends that you love where Joey, does he go on like $100,000 pyramid or something like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Eric goes on the exact same show at one point.
Oh, I'm down. We're not done yet, but
it's a game show. I don't remember what it was, but it's equally funny because I feel like they're very similar. They're stupid but lovable.
Oh, yeah. Eric is a freaking dork, but I love him. Oh my god, that's a really good comparison.
I need to start that show.
Yeah, do it. It's so good. It's so good. So what we do is we play Last of Us.
Yeah.
And then we watch Boy Meets World before bed.
Just kind of bring your mood back up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think once I finish Community, I'll start Boy Meets World. I think that'll be my next like sitcom after Community.
We'll probably finish Community after we finish Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in season 6, I want to say now. So they're in college, and it just doesn't ever let up in how good it is. We just got to an episode where there's a professor that gets inappropriate. I don't know if it's okay that it's no spoilers for you, right?
No, that's fine.
And he, the person that plays the professor is actually Corey's older brother in real life.
One of the other, were the savages?
Savages? Yeah. He's such a savage. And actually in the episode, he's a savage. But
Fred Savage and who? Ben Savage, right.
So we were like, he looks familiar. And I looked it up, and he was in
Princess Diaries?
Princess Bride,
right.
Princess Bride. And Maya was like, I watched that recently. That's why I recognize him. And then I kept going, and I was like, this is why I recognize him. Because we just watched recently, and I don't even know if I talked about it on here, all 3 Austin Powers movies.
No.
Which are incredible films, by the way. Have you seen all 3 of them?
I've only seen, I think, the second one.
So I had seen them, but like it was one of those things where I watched them once and then I don't really gets all mixed up. And now that we've watched all 3 of them again,
they're making a new one.
Not confirmed. It's been up and down and
they will.
Up and down and up and down. And then Vern Troyer passed away, and that kind of finished it. But then earlier this year, they were like, nope, we're still working on this. I'm like, yes, please make another one. Yeah. I made a comment that these movies would not be acceptable. And I'm like, that's why they have to do one. That's why they have to do one.
Why?
Because,
I mean, can it?
Because as much as I'm all about being respectful and not pushing it. But there's something about the way these movies did it in a funny way.
Does it highlight what's inappropriate so you know to not do it?
That kind of a thing. It's like where it's making fun of itself. Like, obviously you shouldn't be misogynistic.
Right.
Like, it's a parody of itself kind of a thing.
I just don't even know if that's if that's allowed anymore.
They can find a way to do it now.
Yeah.
They can find a way to do it now. Like Fat Bastard. People are like, you're making fun of fat people. And it's like, nah, not really. No, like this is funny. Like this is objectively funny, and you should just laugh at it.
Right.
Because it's so over the top. Right.
Yeah, obviously that's not a real person.
Exactly.
There are people like that in the world, but like that's who we're making fun of. So
it's and Mike Myers is just an absolute genius. And he's reprised Dr. Evil multiple times over the last few years on late night talk shows.
Yeah.
In response to the Trump campaign, and it's beautiful.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like he hasn't done much lately. Like, he seems like he hasn't acted at all recently.
Right? He's just kind of floated away. Shrek, I guess, but again,
Shrek, even that Shrek 4 was like, I don't know, almost 6 or 7 years ago. It seems like.
It's probably sad because it's probably longer. I know. Are you looking?
Yeah.
I'm going to see what else.
Shrek 4 was 2010.
I was going to say it's probably 10 years.
That's crazy, dude.
Probably at least 10 years.
That is insane.
So the last thing he did was that's right. He was in Bohemian Rhapsody and he killed it.
Oh, of course.
As the record label guy.
Yes. He
was not really in many other things. Yeah. That was the last main thing he did. Documentaries.
That's a good role though. Like, you kind of fly under the radar, and it's still a good performance. He even kind of like was a chameleon. You can't even hardly tell it's him.
I didn't know until after.
Yeah.
But I looked. He's reprised Dr. Evil and done Wayne's World, and then that's it since Shrek. So I would love him to kind of make a comeback with
a new Austin Powers.
Movie.
Yeah. I just hope it wouldn't be stupid, because not that Johnny English is the same as Austin Powers, but like it's that same sort of like oh no, I know, but like I love Johnny English. It's that stupid spy thing, but like the first one was from like the early 2000s, and the sequels are just dumb, bad because you're forcing it. Like I wouldn't want this to end up being like that. But I don't think it would be. It's been so long.
He would do it. It's because of Mike Myers. Period. That's why I have full faith.
Yeah.
I have more faith in him than Ron Atkinson, because I feel like Ron Atkinson is more. He's not the one creating everything. He's playing Johnny English.
Right.
Mike Myers does it all. It's insane. And I pointed out as we're watching it.
Who directs those movies?
I forget that he is playing all those characters. That's how good he is at it.
Right.
Like, even I will say that, and 20 minutes later, I still forget it.
I don't know why I didn't actually realize that he was Dr. Evil. Is that possible? No. Am I stupid?
Yeah, he's Dr. Evil.
I must have known that. I had to have known that.
Of course you knew that. You just reiterated it, like, and reinforced that. It's insane how good he is at it. It's ridiculous.
This is hilarious. Dr. Evil's like Google info, fictional character, duh. Spouse, Frau Farbacina, okay. Creator, Mike Myers. Children, Scott Evil.
I love it. And
it's like it's a mixture of real and fiction.
It's beautiful. It's so genius. And that's why, like, I haven't seen these movies in a long time. They're some of my favorites. And like watching it, like it was like a whole great new way of experiencing that. And like now that I understand it, I'm like, yeah, we need another one of these movies for sure.
Yeah. I accidentally watched the second one, unfortunately. I didn't even know. I was watching with someone. They're like, let's watch Austin Powers. I'm like, how about this one? And I thought it was the first. And there's no way to tell, I feel like. But
no, that's why I always got confused. So it's International Man of Mystery, something, and then Goldmember.
The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Spy Who Shagged Me, and then Goldmember.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't even remember. I did mention Last of Us.
I was gonna say, can we talk about that a little bit?
And we should talk about that, but should we take a little break?
No, I don't think we have much more. Let's just power through.
Let's just jump into it.
Well, as we record this, The Last of Us comes out tonight. Part 2. Last of Us Part 2 comes out tonight at midnight.
Less than 6 hours. It's possibly even 9 o'clock. So it could be out in less than 3 hours.
Did you pre-order it somewhere?
Oh my God, no, thank you. I need to do that. I need to find my gift card. Crap.
Because I have it. I'm gonna go pick it up from Best Buy tomorrow. I was really trying hard to finish The Last of Us before it came out, and it's not going to happen, but
another week or so.
It's okay. I'll finish it within a week for sure. I just really wanted to start it like tomorrow. I don't think they're doing under these circumstances. I don't know if they're doing any kind of like midnight pickup kind of thing. Maybe they are. Best Buy's open again, so
they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
They might be doing something like that, but
well, I'm going digital with this one, I think.
Are you?
I think so.
Anyways, what did you want to say about the game?
Well, how far are you?
Well, as you put it, I am about 30% through the game, unfortunately. I thought I was farther. So, okay, here's the thing. I've been playing it. I've put in almost 6 hours into the game of playtime. Not very much. I know, it's not crazy or anything. I've looked it up. It's a 12 to 16 hour playtime. The last time
I'm going off sections,
which is short. That's short, right?
Yeah. But do you look for stuff? Do you make sure you get stuff?
Yes. So that you're stocked? I make sure I get everything.
And then we do too. And I guess that's what adds to it.
Yeah.
If you just like pop, 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 run, pop, 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 run, pop, 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 then it'll be shorter.
So the last time I finished playing, I was a little bit stressed out. I was a little bit like,
oh yeah,
that weighed on me a bit. So I'm like, just to lighten the mood, but to also keep my mind like fresh with The Last of Us, I'm gonna watch Nick play it for a little bit because I was 6 hours in. I'm like, I can start his playthrough and see how he does it. So Nick plays while Greg. This is kind of funny. Nick plays while Greg watches. Doesn't even help him really. He just watches him play. The dude runs through the game.
Yeah.
By the time like I finished playing, I turned it on, I went and did the dishes and got in bed. By the time I got in bed, he was so much closer to where I was in the game. than I expected him to be, that it made me uncomfortable. I'm like, wait, this video is 5 hours long. The next one, which is the finale, is 8 hours long. If he's gotten this far in this span of time, how long is it going to take me to finish this game? And that's why I asked you. I'm like, what percentage of the game am I? Because I'm very concerned how long it's going to take me.
You are playing it right. I'll tell you right now. That is.
But sometimes I don't know, because sometimes I'm like being chased by zombies and people are like, Joel, come on, we gotta go. And I'm like, yeah, but let me check this room for some gears.
There's a few moments where you have to run away.
But you don't have to. Because obviously there's a room and there is stuff in there. And like, I look and there's stuff, because you can tell that's why they made it. So that's
when you know you don't have to run away yet.
It's there's been a couple times when I have to run where it's like I can look over here and find stuff.
Well, so the scene I'm specifically thinking of is when you run into the school and you have to like jump through the window.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's like, you can't look around. You have to jump through the window.
You're right.
You can't kill them all.
It wasn't letting me jump. I couldn't jump up onto the thing through the window, so I had to like kite them around and then go for a second pass. It didn't let me. Had to kite them again. I'm like, let me in the window, and it finally worked.
There you go.
Yeah, I hated that.
So you haven't played anymore. So where are you at specifically?
So we got through the school. Literally at that scene that you just mentioned is where you realize the truck is out of commission.
Yep.
And then you go through the school and you get to the end, and then you find a car. And who's his friend? What's his friend's name?
Bill.
Bill's partner had hung himself, but fixed a car. So that's where I am. We're about to drive away. But it was in the school that I realized I had a shotgun, and holy crap, the shotgun's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
The shotgun is a lifesaver.
Yep.
Because screw the pistols.
I was determined that Maya was going to beat that bloater. I've kind of as the game is progressing, I'm taking over more.
Yeah.
She's doing exploration. I'm doing combat because it's getting intense. I just have one of my better stealth ones where I didn't get spotted. I took everybody out. It was so fun.
I'm enjoying that more.
They do a good job of balancing like abilities. Like they give you enough tools.
But like
to make it happen.
Even if you do get caught, you're like, okay, I got caught. I gotta deal with it.
Yep.
It doesn't make you feel like you failed.
It's not like fail, game over, start over,
right?
Which is no fun, and I think that's a really big part because that adds to when you do pull it off, it feels even better,
right?
And the whole it's been really fun to see it click with her.
Yeah,
at the start of the game where she's like, nope, I don't want to do this. I'm like, nope, you got to get through those clickers. And to now where she's like, I only want to fight clickers. I don't want to fight people.
The clickers are nice because you could just walk straight up to them
and kill them if you do it right.
Right.
And she'll sit there and watch them and just wait.
Now,
and figure it out. And I'm just like, that's fine.
I have a couple things to say. Yeah. I'm enjoying the balance that the game makes me have in my mind of, okay, I always need to have a shiv, but I always need to have an extra shiv so I can open doors if that ever comes up. So I don't want to use all my shivs. And then like, ooh, I found a blade. Can I craft anything? But like my inventory's full. Can I craft anything so I can free up space to like pick this up? And then now I just found explosives, so that uses like some different combination of materials, and it's a very fun balance in my brain. Now, the stealth, right? Joel, very stealthy, hides around corners.
Yes,
hiding. Ellie doesn't follow me at all. Ellie, what are you doing? How are they not seeing you? You're standing up straight in front of them. How it blows my mind.
A 2013 game where they didn't want to ruin the experience. Now the AI, and then that's the thing at the time, Ellie was unprecedented. I still think she holds up really, really well.
Yeah.
But don't worry about her. Because Maya's had the same thing. Oh my God. I'm like, okay, don't worry about her. They're not going to see her. Like, just focus on staying hidden. Like, it works for the most part, but like it would ruin the entire game.
Sure.
If you had to worry about something that was out of your control.
And I realized that pretty quickly, but it's comical sometimes. I'm constantly yelling at Ellie. I'm like, Ellie, get down, you idiot. It's a lot of fun though. Ellie's awesome. She's such a cool character. for a 14, 15-year-old, wherever she is, like she's so mature and awesome and tough.
Cannot wait until we both finish this game again and can talk about it.
Yep. And play the new one so soon. I can't wait.
Damn it. I really fucked up.
Why?
That I didn't pre-order that. I don't
You
know
still
what I was
can.
thinking.
I pre-ordered what I pre-ordered because of like the bonuses and stuff.
Yeah.
If you buy the digital version, I'll give you my case. If that's what you want.
But then you can't play it.
I'm sorry, the regular version. If you just buy like a regular base game, I'll swap cases with you.
I might do that. And I'll pay you the difference.
Maybe. But just check and see if you can
I'm gonna see
find
what I
it
can
somewhere.
pull off.
Because like I'd like to have it, but I'm not invested with it. I haven't been with this story for 7 years like you have.
I think that's how I felt. Like I felt out of it and kind of scared and kind of unsure, and playing through it again, it's rushing back and it's like, God, wow. Like it holds up relatively well.
Dude, it's really fun. There's the part where I think right before Bill shows up and you're hanging upside down and you have to shoot the zombies. That's so much fun.
I was terrified. I was terrified for Maya to get to that point and be like, I can't run. I don't want to play. And she's like, no, I want to kill him. And she kept dying. She died over and over and over. But she was like, I'm going to make sure that I get all these. And it's been really satisfying from that perspective to see that.
I love the point. Whenever it is for people, but I love the point when the shooting finally kind of clicks, because it's so hard at first, but at a certain point it kind of works and it becomes second nature. I have a question for you though.
From a distance.
Yes.
Oh, it's good.
I could have Googled this, but I haven't remembered to. Yeah. When you shoot someone, there's like little lines around the circle. What do those indicate?
If it's just the 4, you got to hit. If it's the like a bunch of lines around it, you've killed them.
That's death.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another one for like you hit their helmet off, I think, but I haven't even figured that out quite yet.
Because sometimes you shoot them and they fall on the ground and they're still like moving, and it distracts me because I feel like I haven't killed them, and then I've missed someone else that's coming for me instead of just being like, boom, dead. Okay, I can move on.
I would say it's like 3 bullets if you hit him in the chest, and you can get 1 in the head. But it'll be lots of little lines. It'll fill the outside of the circle, and that's a headshot.
Yeah. And I hate the noises, dude. The runners who don't seem like they're actually turned yet. I hate the way they cry. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
It's good. That sound design is beautiful.
But
I hate it, but it's like the fact that they pulled it off.
Yeah.
To make you feel this way just is so impressive on its own.
The inventory management is so much fun. I wasn't liking it at first when it's just like gun and brick, but then when they start adding more stuff and I have like this wheel, I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then you see everything add to your backpack, but it all makes sense. Nothing is like, how are you carrying all this stuff? You see it there. It makes perfect sense. Here's my melee. Here's my long range. Here's my pistol. I can have another pistol. It's like, it all makes perfect sense.
Have you done the holster thing?
I saw it. I haven't added a second holster yet, but
I don't remember what it does. I'm like still hesitant to do it because
I can still hold multiple pistols. I just have to switch them.
I'm like, I don't think it's dual wielding. I don't ever remember doing dual
what
wielding.
What I'm wondering is because you do right on the D-pad, hold X, and then cycle. I'm thinking maybe you can just do right and then up and down instead of having to like hold X and cycle. Because you know how you can do like up and then up to get the other thing, or down. Maybe you can just go right up or right down.
It's probably right.
Or right. Yeah, that would be great.
Right. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do that then. And that's what like this game. I don't remember another one did it. It's like, no, if you need to get in your backpack, if you need to craft. This was like before it came out. If you need to craft it, you don't pause.
No,
you got to pull that off on the fly.
Yeah.
But like you can heal while you're moving and like dodging people. Oh, I love it. I will say I had one instance where I was in a one-on-one with somebody and I was like, I wanted to save my bullets. And so I tried to get in a spot and I had a brick and I threw the brick over and I stunned him and then I rushed him.
Yeah.
And I took him out. And that was, I don't even think I did that on my first playthrough, and it felt great.
There was a moment where I felt like I was just owning the game. Like I stunned a clicker, shot him in the head with the bow, shot the next one, threw a Molotov, burned 3 of them. Like, let's go. Joel's the zombie slayer. And then Ellie's like,
so good.
"Jeez, Joel, like what is wrong with you?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm saving your life." It's fun.
When it clicks like that, it's good.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I don't know if you've seen like what people are saying about this next game. I'm excited again.
I'm excited to beat this game, go back and watch every trailer that there's been, because I've seen most of them except for the very, very recent ones with no context. You know what I mean?
Watch the recent ones, yeah.
Go back and watch those again. Be like, okay, this is what we're getting into, and then play the game.
I got goosebumps. I'm excited.
See, I don't even think I realized that you didn't play as Ellie in this game, because I knew she was the main character of the second one, but I didn't realize that you play as
Joel.
Just Joel in this one, except for the very beginning. But
that beginning. We're gonna play tonight, hopefully.
Speaking of Epic Games, not Epic Games, the company, but just Epic Games.
Yes.
But Cyberpunk got delayed again today.
Thank goodness, because I told Levin we've been talking Cyberpunk, we played Witcher, like CD Projekt Red is kind of our thing.
Yeah. And
he texted me that today. He hit me before I found it. And I was like, "What's going on? What's Nightwire? What? Oh, it's delayed. It's delayed 2 months, 11/19." I've been predicting for probably since January, if not longer before, that the PS5 will come out 11/20/20. I looked at calendar, I looked at dates. November 20th, a week before Thanksgiving, it's a Friday. That is when I think the PlayStation 5 is coming out.
Do they not come out on Tuesdays? No.
Games used to come out on Tuesdays, but they've really shifted to a Friday because the weekend and stuff.
Sure, right.
I predict that the PlayStation 5 will be out on November 20th, 2020. Cyberpunk is now coming out on the 19th.
Is that not weird?
I don't know, because I think the Xbox is coming out the week after.
After the PlayStation?
Like, literally, potentially on Black Friday or something crazy like that.
Why would it come out on a Thursday?
Either thinks because the PlayStation's coming out on Friday. Potentially. Because they know it. Because they're launching. They know when the PlayStation's coming out. Guaranteed.
Right.
And if this isn't a hint at that, I don't know what else could be. But my PS4 will never taste Cyberpunk now.
Right. You don't have to wait. Theory. At most, you have to wait 1 day.
And so, like, it's not even going to get... I'm not even putting that disc in you.
It might kill it. It might break the console.
Also, I think it's supposed to be 2 discs, and so it's just like... Because Red Dead is 2 discs. So,
oh my god, that's...
Yeah, I know. We'll see what happens with Cyberpunk, but we've got 1 week. A week from today, we're getting the Nightwire. I'm assuming they're going to show next-gen footage and blow it out, and then next month we'll get all the Xbox stuff, but there's a lot of uncertainty right now.
Yeah.
And I want to add, Levin went from, I'm getting a launch console. This is the year. This is the generation where I'm going in day one. To, I might wait. I think I might wait to, Cyberpunk was delayed. I think I'm getting a launch console again to play Cyberpunk. And he's like, it's funny that a game getting delayed has moved up my getting a console.
What, because he was already planning on being fully into the game on PS4?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need a PS5 right now.
Yep.
But
and now he's like, fuck it, I'll just start on PS5.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
It's going to be so much better. So at this point, show us. I want next gen gameplay.
Just scrap the PS4 game altogether.
No, you don't.
I know.
I know. And whatnot, and a lot of people that will not be getting the PS5. But
are there rumors of PS5 customization?
No.
Is that a thing?
No.
Customizing the look of it.
Everybody's just trying to change the colors. Shut up. Shut up! This thing is beautiful. You don't make it all black like it always is. That's so boring. I love that this is different.
Yeah, I want to make mine look like an Xbox. I want the green LED.
I don't know. And if you mean LED customization and stuff like that, maybe. we're gonna find out with this whole new
I would buy
overall
that for sure. Just something in the UI where you can tell what the color on the outside of the console to be. That makes I'm sure, why not?
I'd be super down for that. That doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
But nothing before it goes into the box, no customizing that.
No, they're gonna be. I'm excited for the first time because like I'm buying two PS. I mean, technically I bought two PS4s. I bought the launch one and the Slim for Maya. I will be buying potentially 2 or 3 of PS5s. One for launch, a second one eventually for Maya, and then a Pro at some point. So we could work in a special edition in there somewhere.
Do a launch Slim and Pro.
Well, I'm thinking a special edition of some sort, maybe a digital special edition one, and then a Pro at some point.
Or like Spider-Man 3 or something.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I think there's a lot. They've even said there's a lot of potential for really cool special edition looking consoles for this system.
Yeah. We will have to see.
One last thing. I know we just hit all the big news. I want to know about Golf Story.
Yeah, I unfortunately haven't played it much this last week. I know I said that I was going to have it beaten, but it's so wholesome and fun and goofy.
Happy. It's like a hug.
And I remember when you first explained it to me, when you were first talking about it, and I'm like, so it's not just golf? Like it's you actually like do stuff? And that sounded weird to me. But it's such a perfect combination of like walk around, talk to people, play golf. If you want to just play golf, that's all you have to do. Like you can just drop a ball and play some golf. But it's so funny the way everyone hates you. Everyone's such a jerk. They're like, you're the worst. You're garbage. You're never going to be a pro player. And you're like, what do you mean? I can beat all of you easily.
Yes, right? Like that's the irony of it.
And it's so satisfying when you hit like a great golf shot. And you're like, oh man, dude, I got the distance and the power and the top spin or bottom spin and the loft and the club length, and just like, oh, I nailed it, and it just goes right in the hole.
I gotta fire this game up again.
It's so fun.
It really is so fun.
And the music is really cool too. I love the music of all the different courses. It's a fun theme and aesthetic.
And and that's why I'm super excited for the next game, because it's just gonna be bigger and more like, because it's that feel that they nailed, and just do more things like that.
Yeah.
Like just interact. It's just more interactivity. I don't necessarily want them to turn it into a 50-hour game. I don't want it to be like super, super long, but just like more things to do is always a fun thing.
I mean, they introduced like disc golf and stuff, and maybe they might do more stuff later. So if you just have more sports to play with the fun like Switch mechanics, I think that'd be so fun.
Have you seen the Sports Story trailer?
No, I haven't.
Wait till you beat the game and watch it. They're adding a lot.
That's cool.
I just don't want each one of I don't want them to be 10 games in one, but like split it up, mix it up.
Sure.
Kind of a thing, but definitely bigger, maybe twice as long or something like that. But I'm
that sounded violent.
Gonna say that's Amazon Fresh.
Oh, okay.
Amazon Fresh. There, you killed them. They're dead. They're dead.
Well, hey, with that, thank you for watching and or listening to the Huber Rebels podcast. If you've been watching, you can listen to us on the Apple iTunes podcast app and more services in the future. If you've been listening, you can watch us on YouTube on the Huber Rebels channel, where we also have Rebels React and gameplay that you can watch in the future. We try to react to as many Summer Game Fest videos as possible. Today we did EA Play. And we've done movies such as Joker, as we talked about today, and the Clone Wars, the final season. So you can check those out there. But I've got nothing else. My name is Jordan.
I have one more thing.
Can never get through an outro.
Kinda bug and kinda snack. Try to catch 'em in your trap. Feed somebody and you'll see we are whatever we eat. Find them hiding in the sand, tearing up a ketchup patch. Come to Snacktooth Island and discover it's Bug Snacks.
Is that the whole song?
Ooh, it's Bug Snacks. Ooh, talking about Bug Snacks. Ooh, it's Bug Snacks. I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed with that song, and I had to throw that in there.
You killed me. Continue from where I left off.
And we are the Huber Rebels.
Until next time.
Welcome to the rebellion.
See, now is when you could have sang that.
I wanted to do it right there.
God.